Hi, it's Margaret, and thank you so much for joining me here on the Gardening Me. Today I am talking bulb haul and plant haul. I put in an order, I don't know, a couple months ago, I guess, with Flower Bulbs Are Us, which is a Canadian bulb and bare root plant seller. I just got the order in today, so I thought I would show you everything that I got, and there's quite a bit. So let's dig right in. Let me actually get organized first. I'm going to start with the dahlias, because who doesn't love dahlias? So I've bought 6 different dahlias, and the first one is one I bought last year, but then when it came up, it was not what it was supposed to be. So I'm trying again this year and crossing my fingers that it works out. And it is the infamous, is that the right word? Infamous? I don't know. I think that has negative connotations, right? Anyhow, it is the very well-known Cafe au Lait. I probably don't have to describe it because basically if you know dahlias, you know this one, but its blooms are those really nice large blooms. They're 8 to 10 inches across, and the plants are pretty tall. They're 3 to 4 feet tall. So the next one I got is this gorgeousness. It's called Gallery Art Deco. And it is a beautiful kind of yellowy, pinky, I don't know. It's hard to describe. It is absolutely gorgeous. The flowers are not overly large on this. It's 4 to 5 inch flowers, which is fine by me because I love the small flowers just as much as I love the large flowers. This one is actually only 2 feet tall, which I don't mind at all because what that means is that chances are this one won't need staking. Although I have to say I rarely stake any of my dahlias unless I kind of see them kind of falling over. But yeah, this one is actually specifically listed as self-supporting. So the stems, I guess, are pretty strong. And yeah, so that's a huge plus on that. The next one I got is called Mary Eveline, and it is a collarette dahlia, which is noted by the fact that it has kind of like this tiny little row of petals all around the center there. And it is a beautiful deep red with the kind of cream petals in the middle. The blooms on this one are also pretty small. It's only 2.5 to 3 inches across, and the plant itself is not a tall one either. It's 2 to 3 feet tall. So likely, well, hopefully won't need staking either. The next one is a beautiful yellowy peachy dahlia, and this one is called Tyrell. And the blooms are also not large. It's smaller blooms, about 4 inches across. And the height, though, is pretty tall at 4 feet tall. So next is Otto's Thrill, and this one looks like it has almost a corally kind of peachy color to it that looks very vibrant in the photos. This one has huge blooms, 8 to 10 inches across, and it stands 3 to 4 feet tall, so one of the taller ones. And the last one is Summer Sunset, which is also a orangey, I would say, orangey with a splash of yellow dahlia. Again, huge blooms at 8 to 10 inches and a tall one at 3 to 4 feet tall. And those are all of the dahlias that I got. Now I just have to find spots for them. I am this year going to try planting more dahlias in the border. Last year I did, I'd say half of them in raised beds, and the other half I kind of clustered together in one area of the border because I was still working on what was going on in the border, and I didn't really have a spot for them. But this year I'm going to try incorporating a few into the border as well. So I'm not sure whether I'm going to do that with these or whether I'm going to do that primarily with the ones that I saved, because I do have a lot more of those tubers, and I wouldn't really want to lose anything by putting it in a spot and then it not working out. So what I'm thinking I might do is the existing tubers that I have that I've saved from last year, hopefully, cross my fingers, they're still okay in storage. I did check them about a month ago and they seemed okay. Those tubers I'm probably going to try to do a couple in the raised beds and then a few out in the borders, because usually in the raised beds I don't have any issues with losing them or them coming up. And even in the borders, actually, I've had fairly good success with them coming up. Not really a lot of issues. So that's the plan anyhow at this point. So that's the dahlias. So next, let's go on to something I have never grown before from bare root. I think it's a pretty recent thing at Flower Bulbs R Us that they have bare root hostas. And so I love hostas. I'm not necessarily a hosta collector, but I rarely meet a hosta I don't like. So I thought I would pick up a bunch and give them a go. So let me get organized on this. And here we are. So 7 hostas I purchased, and some of them need to be potted up or something. I'm not sure I'm ready to put them in the ground, but as you can see, let's talk about this guy first. This is Lipstick Blonde, and as you can see, we have some growth coming up here. So I definitely need to do something with this one. I can't just leave it in the bag indefinitely. And actually, I just want to mention that Danielle from North Lawn Flower Farm did an awesome video not that long ago, I think maybe 2 or 3 weeks ago, about planting bare root hostas. And I am definitely going to go based on that video because I have never done this before. So it was really detailed, as her videos often are. So shout out to Danielle. It was awesome. So let's do this guy here, Lipstick Blonde. And the thing about this one is it has a very unique coloration for a hosta. And it has vibrant red stems and fluorescent, almost yellow foliage. Now it does need partial sun in order for that yellow color to be really, really vibrant. So I'm going to really have to think about where I'm putting this one, but I'm looking forward to it. The one thing though about these kind of interesting ones that have these very strange, I guess, for hosta colorations is that they're also usually the finickiest to grow. I tried growing another one, and I can't remember what it was called, but it was a white hosta. It might have been something ghost or something. I can't recall. But I tried it twice, and I did read reviews saying it was a super finicky one to grow, but I figured, oh, I'm sure it's fine. It's a hosta. How hard can it be? I did not have success with that one. I probably didn't treat it with kid gloves like I should have, but I don't know. I have a feeling this one may also not be the easiest one to grow, but I'm going to give it a go because you never know until you try. The next one I got, well, you can't really see anything. It's literally a packet of peat moss with some roots in it. But this one is called Sting, and I will put a photo on the screen of that one. And this one has very thick leaves with a white stripe down the center. And one of the great things about thick-leaved hostas is they are much more tolerant of slug and snail damage. In fact, the hostas that I have with the kind of thicker leaves, they generally don't get any damage. So I'm always on the lookout for that when I'm purchasing a hosta. So the next one is this guy here, and it is Glad Tidings. I'm not sure why some of these come in black bags and some come in clear bags, but anyhow. Glad Tidings is another golden hosta, and it has thick leaves as well, so great if you have issues with slugs and snails. One of the other awesome things that I really loved about this one, and I love in hostas in general, is when the leaves get a little bit older, it gets kind of like a bumpy kind of, what I think they describe it as pebbled appearance, and I love that. Oh, there's a bumblebee on the cherry tree. I don't know, can you see that? Oh, it's just out of range, isn't it? It's like just buzzing around me here. Anyhow, so that's that one. Excited. I'm excited about all of them, of course, Next one is Paisley border. So this one is the opposite of the sting hosta, where the white variegation on it is on the outside. So the other thing about this one is that when the leaves come out, the variegation is yellow, and then as the season progresses, it gets paler and paler and eventually becomes a creamy white. So I love that in a hosta when there's that color change. And what I also really like, and I have at least one or two other hostas that are like this, is that where the white meets the green, there are kind of different shades of a gray green going on. It's just beautiful. So the next one is Guacamole, and this one is quite a popular one actually. But one of its claims to fame, and one of the reasons it first got on my radar, was not necessarily because of the foliage, which is very pretty, but it's because of the flowers and how fragrant they are, which is quite unusual for a hosta. It's been around for a while, and it won the American Hosta Growers Award. I guess they give out an annual award every year to different hostas, back in 2002, so 11 years ago. Oh, you know what? I have 2 sting bags. I'm wondering, did I order 2? I don't think I would have ordered 2, but I'm wondering if maybe, because compared to all the other ones, this one looks pretty tiny. So I'm wondering if they threw in this and they kind of scribbled out what was there and put sting and last one on it. So I'm not sure. Hopefully that is what's in here. But anyhow, so I guess I don't have 7, I have 6. 6 hostas. And the very last one, I guess, is here, and this one is called Stained Glass. So this one is similar to Guacamole in how it looks, but the center is much more of a golden color. And I didn't see any reference to fragrant blooms, so I don't think that's the case here, but I'm going to smell them anyway and see if there's anything there. So now on to the rest of my haul, and it's a bunch of stuff. It's all kind of one-offs of different things, more or less. And they are all things I've never grown before, but I'm determined to give a lot of different things a go this year. So exciting. So I've never grown Gladiolus before, but I'm excited to try. One of my neighbors actually grows them every year, and she did say she would give me a few bulbs. I guess they multiply in the same way as Dahlias, but I don't know much about them, but I do know what I like. I do know what's pretty to me, and that's why I chose these particular varieties. And the first one is called Priscilla. And this one is a gorgeous white with kind of a hot pink edge. And the center is also a very, very subtle yellow. And the other one that I purchased because I love green flowers is Tula. So this one again is gorgeous, very pale green flowers with dark green foliage. And the great thing about green flowers is they go with anything. So next is Crocosmia, and this one is called Prince of Orange. This is a very bright color. So plant placement is going to be interesting. So one of the things that also attracted me to this one, aside from the flowers themselves, is the foliage, because it's described as sword-like, and they say that it stays gorgeous all season long. This one is good in either part shade or full sun, but I'm assuming it probably prefers full sun. But the one thing about this that is interesting is I saw on several websites where it was hardy down to zone 5, which is where I am, but I saw on other websites that it was only hardy to zone 6. So what I'm thinking I might do is just leave a few in the ground just to see if they'll winter over, and then pull the other ones up and store them once summer is done. The next one that I have is, I'm not sure how to pronounce this. Acidanthera, maybe? I don't know. Anyhow, the name will be on the screen. So this guy, even though it looks nothing like a gladiolus, it is in that family. It's a beautiful petite flower with sort of a very deep purple center. This one blooms all summer long, and it has upright sword-like foliage as well. The second to last one, there's only one more after this, is a calla lily called Callafornia, and not California, but Callafornia. For a minute, I actually thought it was a typo. Anyhow, the Longwoods Gardens website actually had a very interesting description for this one. It said that the blossoms are saffron gold and are flushed with orange and coppery red, and as the flowers mature, the darker colors gradually spread across the petals until the entire flower glows. So I'm wondering when they come up, I don't know whether they're going to look like the photo on the package, which is a very bright kind of reddish pink color. So this is going to be super interesting to see how these come up. The foliage on this one is also beautiful, and it is a green that's spotted with white. And last but not least is a peony. Now I have two peonies in my garden. One that I actually have to move because it's been here since we moved here 12 years ago, and it has never bloomed because it's under an Amur maple, and it basically gets full shade from that and another maple that's on the other side all season long. I've been meaning to move that one for the last 12 years, and I've never gotten around to it. But it's on my calendar for this fall. We'll see whether I get to it or not. I'm actually really excited because I have no idea what color those flowers are. It's going to be a treat. Anyhow, I do know what color these flowers are though. So this one is Alertie. Not really sure how to pronounce that one, but it is a beautiful, beautiful, very, very, very pale pink with a sort of deeper pink center, and it is a double. The descriptions on this one say that it blooms earlier in the season with tremendous force. I guess it pushes out all the blooms at once, potentially. I don't know, but really looking forward to that. And that really about covers it. I am super excited to get all of these things in the ground. So many new things to try this year, which is one of the pleasures, I think, of gardening, is just trying new things. And sometimes things won't work out. But you know what? That's okay. That's all part of the process. And yeah, I am very excited to get all these things going. These hostas, I am definitely going to be potting those up. I haven't seen any hostas popping up in my landscape yet, which to me would be the sign that I can, you know, put these in the ground no problem. So today, I think this afternoon, I am going to be potting all of these up into pots, and then they'll probably be going in the ground in another week or two, I'm thinking. I hope you enjoyed this show and tell of the bulbs and bare roots that I got. And I'll be sure to keep you guys up to date on the progress, I guess, throughout the season as these things grow and mature. So, thanks so much for joining me today, and we will see you next time. Bye.